Okay, Shalom. Okay, Shalom. All right, so we're back with another declaring the end from the beginning. And then this issue, this is the second and third issue. This is going to be an open forum. But before we get into it, we're going to give all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yahweh, 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 okay. Double honors. Make sure you can hear me. You can hear me, right?
Con.
You still hear me?
Con.
Okay, good. All right. Double honors to the hopefully elect elder apostle slaves to be saved, Lord, when installing those at the GMS church, or down to the rest that may be out here under the same doctrine, Shalom, on to the Akim here at this church, at this faction of this hopefully elect assembly, in the order, give the diligence and all true faith and sincerity teaching, and onward to the rest of the Akim doing likewise, Shalom, to the rest of you believers, you women, children, and few men of the Israelite race also in on this faith of Yahweh Bashem outside to you, Shalom as well. So back with another issue, okay. And like I said, this is gonna be a open forum. And in this open forum you see like the little subtitle, eye to eye, basically seeing eye to eye, which I'm gonna go ahead and read that scripture. This is Isaiah in the 52nd chapter. Okay, so basically just covering, basically giving some ground on, a briefing on what pretty much everything got to be covered, and how and why this is going to be, done through the Spirit. Well, this is Isaiah 52 and 8. It says, "Thy watchmen shall lift up thy voice." So the Lord said, He said, watchmen, and that's pretty much what this is what we're doing. We're watching, this is the result of watching. We'll be able to get on here and go into topics and things like that. But it says, they declare the end from the beginning, what's going to happen, what's on the way, the good news, which is bad news for other people. But it says, the watchman shall lift up the voice. So that's happening. With the voice together shall they sing. Yeah. Going into, that governing body, because the governing body is those men that are the only ones that can learn that new song. And we know you sing songs, okay? And that's synonymous with, the watchmen, hence the prophets, okay? Which goes into Ezekiel, that 33rd chapter, how it says, I'll get it, Ezekiel 33 and verse 30. 2, I'll start at. It says, "And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on the instrument. For they hear thy words," right? Because songs consist of instruments, you know, unison. If it's a duet, you know, or whatever, it's a choir, you know, uh, and those of the choir will be the men bringing his word out, and the instrument will be his word. Okay, and we will be the instrument ultimately. But but keep it simple like that. However, you get it. It says, "And can play well on the instrument, for they hear thy words, right? But they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet has been among them." So once again, that singing is going into the 144,000, which is those men that can learn that, the only men that can learn that new song, which is going into, ultimately prophets. Okay, this is Isaiah 52 and 8 from the top. It says, "Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice, with the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye." And that's what we're dealing with. So when the Lord shall bring again Zion, and that's the time, that's what this is. We pretty much gonna have an open forum. Pretty much, the scripture says that the eyes of them that see shall not be dim. Okay, and we pretty much those that have the eyesight that's able to see what's going on and why uh, the things that are going on and the reasoning for why the things are going on. We're going to go into. They're going to come together and they're going to be able to, through their assessment, express the matter, and see eye to eye, his angle on the vision his angle of the vision with his angle of the vision. We're gonna see eye to eye. We're gonna see the whole thing clearly. So just seeing things, assessing things, speaking of things that's about to happen and that's going on in the world. You know, so probably it'll be in the form of articles and different things that's happening. Okay, different things that will bring it, the past, etc. That's what we're gonna be doing in this 73rd issue. You go ahead and send that out. But um, yeah, and if, Lord willing, you edify. So Salaki, one second. So if you got something, you can bring it up. So we're gonna be playing it probably, like I said, speaking on different things, pulling up different things that's going on right now, that's happening, different secret things in the workings, uh, judgments, good news, maybe chariot sight, stuff like that. Okay, so we're just gonna filter it all back to the scripture. So this is gonna be a sup in the spirit, and like I said, Lord willing, you edify. Okay, so okay, Con, you got something?
Yeah, I'm shooting this out real quick. Okay.
I'll get this. Now, this is Isaiah 53 and 1. It says, "Who had believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?" Right. So we're like reporters, man. You know what I'm saying? Like covering the news, things going on right now. From the the the, the, the technological advancement that the so-called white man he's trying to make right now, or like Meta. Okay, the metaverse. There's been some Occam speaking on that. The situation with Biggie, where they pretty much trying to bring Biggie back to life through this metaverse, which is something I don't necessarily want to speak on personally myself at this point, because I did want to go into that in like a more, you know, dedicated sitting on that, you know, a lesson. But you got a bunch of technological advancements that the devil is rampantly, you know, and relentlessly trying to make, which goes into something I do by the Spirit see that needs to be spoke on. You know, not heavily to, you know, in this issue, but like in another like a personal lesson I myself want to do was dealing with you know, this whole image of the beast, man. This image of the beast is is in your face more and more. You know, and they got tons of Israelites buying into it more and more and more and more and more. Okay, got some.
Yeah, 1 second.
And then you brothers coming in, you got stuff, bring it out, man. You know.
Yeah, Kai. St. John chapter 12 and verse 38. It says that the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who hath believed our report, and to whom hath the arm of the Lord been
Yeah, I
revealed.
agree.
No, this ain't John. It's a link to it.
Oh, okay, fine, you got it.
Yeah, verse 39, it says, therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes nor understand with their heart and be converted, and I should heal them. And really just speaking on what we seeing amongst us, like the last few, well, I could say our last Sunday sit down declaring the end from the beginning was we pretty much covered was the shooting in Buffalo. No, or was the last one? It's been basically overall, simply put, these mass shootings been a big thing amongst the Israelite, amongst Jake, pretty much, amongst the 2/3 out there.
The shooting that took place in you know, in a few states. One in San Bernardino, California, you know, and another one that took place downtown in Chicago, where, you know, the numbers was jumping all over the place. It was 10 people shot, 2 killed, you know, right after the Buffalo shooting. But you got it.
Kind. And simply seeing that our nation, they getting the report, because we know as men hitting the highways and hedges, as men pushing out the videos throughout the week, doing lessons, hitting the highways throughout the week. So the work is going out. And ultimately we just being able to see more and more the fact that the 2/3 are, they're just not going to get it. And therefore we understand like there's going to be more to come, because these people won't be detached from this place. And it's also because they've been blinded and they have that hard heart. They hard headed, as the Lord said our people were. And there's so much going on that you could speak on, but just the simple fact is this book is just coming further and further. It's just further and further being revealed. Like everything, that we see in front of us, that we actually see in front of us, is like is actually real. And it just, it brings forth the realization of what we are truly working for. And we get into those times where, it is more serious. Every single week we seeing more and more of this book come to life. So I'm gonna read this one more time. It says, St. John chapter 12 and 40, it says, he hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted. And that's ultimately what we are looking for, those who will convert the elect, the 1/3 of the Israelite nation, so they can be healed. So ultimately we can get up out of here. That's our ultimate goal, is to escape, to be see that salvation, to get on those chariots. So diligently watching the world come to an end, we in the same breath, we diligently watching our salvation draw nigh, and it's becoming clearer and clearer.
Yeah, kind. Yeah, I'm just sitting over here thinking about this meta crap that Esau doing. Like I said, these technological advancements he's making, which pretty much is what Jake uh, is being baited to be caught up in. You know, as a matter of fact, since I say that, let's grab this scripture. This is Ecclesiastes. In the 9th chapter, and I'm gonna start at verse. Yeah, okay, Slocky, that's what I want. Habakkuk. The link to that is Ecclesiastes. Okay, Habakkuk 1. 1 and 15. And it reads, they take them up all. They take up all of them with the angle. They catch them in their net and gather them in their drag. Therefore, they rejoice and are glad. So, this is titled the Vengeance of the by the Chaldeans, which is these so-called white people. You know, they catching jakes like fishes. That's why the Lord told us in the book of Matthew what that he was gonna follow him and he's gonna make you a fisher of men, because Jake is likened unto fish, which I'm gonna read right here. This is and really all these people, but it says Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. And that's exactly what that's telling us, that Jake is compared to fishes. And that's why you got something called the internet. That got Jake caught up. That was a technological advancement made by the so-called white man. Which is a form of war, or warring. And he catching a lot of Jakes. With this, man, a lot of Jakes caught up in the internet. A bunch of internet head mugs. Which leads me to First Timothy. But straight to it, in the 3rd chapter, in the 1st verse. This know also that in the last days, which we in right now, it says what? Perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves. Yeah, through selfies. Through this is going into the age that we in right now. And we seeing how men lovers of themselves. Niggas taking selfie sticks, want their pictures like, niggas buying likes on Instagram and YouTube and all type of stuff. But it says men shall be lovers. It says for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters. Right. That's all niggas do on the ground. Like the nigga Fabulous said that he's like you don't do it for the love, you do it for the gram. Yeah. And they do what? They get on there, they stunt, show their money, show what they doing for the day, show where they at. They more so caught up in, boasting in it instead of living something they supposedly happy about, or really wanted to do. But everything people do is for gratification, and that has people caught up, which was set up by the so-called white man. That was a part of that net. He caught them in that, man, the internet. Because to use Instagram is to be on the internet, man. And it says, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, exactly, fake likes, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, exactly. These are this is going into what the last days and how people will be. Now the way people will be these ways is through that net of the so-called white man. Which goes into that image of the beast. Brothers got something?
Yeah, kind. In Job chapter 8 and verse 13, it says, so are the paths of all that forget the Heavenly Father. It says, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. It says, whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web. And just let me backing off what the elder brother was just reading, and ultimately going into, these people trust in a spider's web. So they trust in whatever it may be, whatever social media may be, they trust in they selves, them selfie sticks, not truly actually looking for anything, but just ultimately following the image of the beast and ultimately forsaking the Heavenly Father. So their trust being a spider's web is them being caught up in that trap, because right now you might gain the glory that you are looking for, but that glory is only going to last for so long. And again, if you're trusting in spider's web is a trap, which is what we're talking about, the internet. The World Wide Web is where Esau is pretty much getting you trapped up. That's what you have, pretty much all of your mind and all your thoughts settled into, and ultimately is for your downfall.
Yeah, real quick. And that's going into what? That's going into that trusting and oppression. That which is as a wall ready to break, meaning they not trusting in nothing with substance. So yeah, you could say that, it's definitely spiritual. That obviously in that instance that it will be, you got people being talked that you got being people talked about, you got people being talked about to be leaning on the spider's web, meaning something with weak foundation, So obviously, if we talking about, Jake doing that, well, that spider web will have to be belong to Esau. He would have to be the spider. But that's is going into what? Niggas leaning and stuff with no substance. Okay? As it go on to say in the next verse, you got it, Thor.
Con. Yeah, this is Sirach 12:13. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? Any such as come not wild beasts. And that's what Jake is doing. It's just, the metaverse, things like this biometric technology that I want to bring up. Things like that. It's all Esau Edom's being the devil's way of life. just carnality, way of thinking. Nobody's gonna feel bad for you when all that stuff leads to your destruction because you've been warned through, the internet, through the prophets, ultimately, to the men of the Lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab this scripture. Breakdown. Grab this real quick. This is Isaiah 30 and 13. It says, I'm gonna start at 12. It says, wherefore thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, because he despised this word, and trust in oppression, and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. That's what that web going into, because niggas is leaning, like niggas' whole life based upon the internet. You know what I'm saying? But that's more so going into something with no substance. Because when you lean, it ain't nothing to swipe a whole web down. We went into that before, but it just so happens to be, manifold in a way to where one of the things Jake is trusting in is this internet, man. Niggas' whole livelihood is made off this internet, and we seen just like before, you shit. 1 minute you get on YouTube, next minute it ain't working. They took the whole internet down. That's like like it wasn't nothing. That's the spider's web. That's what it means. So niggas that's leaning and it says whose hope shall be cut off in Job 8 and 14, and whose trust shall be a spider's web, meaning what? He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. Right. A place you're looking for comfort, security. That's what your home represents. It says, but it shall not stand. In this context, it says, he shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. So, yeah, everything these niggas is trusted in is about to be here today, gone tomorrow, man. But see, that's why Esau, he actually trying to take. It's like, but at the end of the day, it's like it's vanity, like the Lord said in Psalms 2. He said, "What? Why do the heathen imagine a vain thing?" You can't bring Biggie back to life forever. You can't. That shit really don't even make any sense. That whole metaverse crap. It really don't make any sense. But it's something so specific to speak to that if you don't, it's like irrelevant. It literally stays vain. It's like it just don't make any goddamn sense. But yeah, man. Esau, in one instance, he knows that, and that's exactly how he's trying to get niggas caught up. He's throwing nothing out there for promoting it as if it's something, but really it's nothing. Hence the spider's web. It's really nothing. Like, yeah, the spider web used to catch niggas and eat, but really it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? A web is nothing. You gotta think that's a whole. When you really think about it, that's a whole home. It was feeding people. It was feeding this thing, and you just come up on it and see it and just take it down like it was nothing. Like that was like hours and time spent, the diligence that was put into that thing. That's the point,
Okay.
So that's why he said they trust in oppression and stay there wrong. He's like, this is gonna be like a breach ready to fall, man. And that's exactly what is happening. We see these people walk around every goddamn day or every week, whatever. Isaiah 30, brothers got it. 30 and 13, it says, therefore this iniquity shall be to you. Well, I'm just start back at 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall who's breaking coming suddenly at an instance. It's like a pipe getting ready to burst. It's like a pipe that burst in your wall. You just see the damn wall swelling. You know, it's a collapse. So it's there. It's got to manifest just like that. You see a big ass wet spot on your wall and it starts swelling up. It's only so long, you know. It's there. The collapse waiting to happen. It just got to manifest. That's what all this job is. So you brother got it. Brother got it.
Yeah, I had a scripture. This is Ecclesiastes 1:14. It says, "I have seen all the works that are done under the sun." So everything on earth, you know, that we're observing and looking at right now, everything going on right now in the last days, it says, "And behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit." So Solomon, you know, he was saying that everything is vanity in this place, man. Everything is a you know, mist, a brush, something that really you could see, you know, here today and gone tomorrow. You know, something that is gonna be wiped off quickly when the Lord returns.
The NBA playoffs here, and the best way to get a piece of all the action is with the
That was what I had.
Yeah, brother got something. Just keep bringing it up, man.
Yeah, kind. This Psalms chapter 38:12, it says they also that seek after my life lay snares for me. You know, we talking about Esau, right? Who's the man who's laying all these snares, because that's how he works, through deceit and land. Finish reading. It says, and they that seek my hurt, because that's what they're planning to do. That's what they're looking to do. They're looking to seek our hurt through promoting this type of stuff. What we watching right now. You know, somebody that Jake idolizes, you know, which is Biggie. You know, they introduce him back to life and he's been gone, but they bring him back to, you know, wreak havoc on our people. So, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long. And this is a complete deceit. Like, this isn't reality. You know, the metaverse is based on the opposition of reality. You know, this is pretty much imagination. And they're able to you know, bring it forth and ultimately to bring forth hurt to Jake, keep them away from reality, you know, keep us out of the loop on what's actually going on, and stuck on things of the past, you know, because we ultimately supposed to ultimately just be moving forward at all times, you know. But when they bring forth things like this, it keeps Jake stuck on something that you know, pretty much you should be over already. Ultimately should have never been you know, invested in, but that's how Esau works. And I'm gonna keep reading. It says, "My eye as a deaf man heard not, and I was dumb. I was as a dumb man that opened not his mouth." So pretty much that's how we have to receive these things. You know, we can't even really completely pay attention to them. Obviously, as we started off, we like reporters, so we report on these things and just bring forth the reality of it. But ultimately, this is a snare. This is a trap, and it's meant for the hurt of Jake.
Yeah, come. This is Psalms 2. You know, sample Psalms 2, and straight to the point. It says what? It says, why do the heathen talk 2 and 1? Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? You know, exactly. You know, if you're on the level of a spider, everything you build is in the reality of reality. So it's subpar. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this shit just don't make any sense. But these are things that is taking place and it's going on. You know. But like I said, it's something to speak to in specifics. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to go into that shit right now. As far as the point, because it's like, is it a video game? Like, what are y'all trying to do? Like, what is it supposed to be real? It's supposed to be. That shit don't even look real. It looks like PS3 graphics, PS4. Ain't the PS5 out or something like that? That shit don't look like nothing. So Esau's just completely banging, man. And you gonna yet have Jake get into things like this at the end of the world, and it's gonna be knocked out the way like a spider's web, like it's nothing, Like, what's the point? Like, what do you do? Like, what are you doing? But these are things that you're gonna find the tribes into in the last days. And then once again, going back to Habakkuk, book of Habakkuk 1 and 15. Habakkuk such a small book. Habakkuk 1 and 15. It says they take up all of them with the anger. They catch them in their net. Yeah, some so wacky, some is a so-called metaverse, but to get the most influential people and the people you need on it, because when they on something, it's cool to everybody else. You will have to come with an angle to get those people. So let's bring Biggie into the metaverse. Let's start this metaverse promotion with the idea of Biggie. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have simple niggas, however they get into the metaverse. Is it a council? Like, what is it gonna be? I don't know. Doing it because, man, yeah, Biggie was on that. But anyway, it says they catch them in their net and gather them in the drag. Therefore, they rejoice and are glad. Exactly. So that's why we here. That's why we here. I'm gonna jump to 2, and you know what? I'm gonna read through this verse 16. It says, "Therefore they sacrifice unto their net." Right. It says, "And burn." And you know what? Jump down real quick. Yeah. And they burn incense unto their drag, because by them their portion is made fat and their meat plenteous. Yeah, so Esau he ultimately worships the things he's able to put out to Jake in order to get rich to, which will make sense. And those things, so really those things in themselves are idols and things of worship, which is why Biggie is used, because Biggie is an idol, So if they sacrifice unto their net, which is ways to catch Esau, Slocky, catch Jake, and all these people, right? Pretty much them worshiping the devil through deceit, because this is devilish, to be really, when you think about it, like it really is more like crazier, like just thinking about it. Like I said, I ain't never tried to, because this is something you sit down and, if you're gonna speak on it, make the most sense of it. When you think about this from an ancient perspective, how crazy is this? Say this man existed in the ancient time and he was known as Biggie, but he died, right? And we talking about the ancient time, so it ain't no technology. Imagine seeing somebody show you something like this in that time. You be like, yo, that's big. You be like, what the? This is highly satanic. Is Satan worship, which is why, once again, the net, which is simply the things they use to catch Jake to get things how they want, procure unto themselves gain, which is through the concept of worshiping a God, through a concept of a power, developing power, however you can procure that power unto yourself. You going about it that way. I'm trying to say it as simple as possible. If this net, right, was simply contains to the things that they're gonna use to get Jake so they can get what they want, right? It's things such as, you know, the idea of their favorite rapper coming back, right? And say, or just without even saying that, keeping it simple, they just use Biggie and this shit called the metaverse. And say it worked and they get all the money, they extend their time, whatever it is they want, right? That's really, that shows you like it was some form of power granted to them. But power only comes from deities. Power is synonymous with deities. So they did it through the worship of some deity. They've got the power that they wanted from a simple thing they put out, you know, through pretty much a deity, man, which would have to be what? Who? It's obviously the Lord on the left-hand side, but it's Satan. Okay. And you think about it, this is completely satanic. The fact you're gonna bring somebody back the Lord killed. You know, just forget this little trash. Think about it, like just the idea of that. The idea of this is more crazier and more profound and clearly satanic when you go back to the times of the ancient times. For instance, when you think about the woman that's Saul went to, okay? The woman of what the hell? Let me get that real quick. The woman, I forget the place, but pretty much Saul, he was, you know, bringing somebody back from the dead was completely deemed wicked at that time. Like just the idea of that, which he did, and what in the way he did it was going to a woman who was the witch of Windward or something like that. Let me see. You know, and we know that's completely against the Heavenly Father. That's satanic, you know. So, not trying to be, you know, all long-winded, drawn out, but my point is, this is really the image of the beast. This is that image that man was told to worship. Esau, he worshiping it too. You know, this whole satanic, everything of the image is really satanic. So this is a part of the image of the beast that's being talked about, man. You know, metaverse is a part of the image of the beast. You know, this is the lifestyle of the beast, like how he thinks, like how you live, how you're happy. You gotta step into the metaverse. That whole way of thinking, you know, and you see on detailed levels, it clearly consists of being about witchcraft. Because the only way in reality, which is clear when you go to the ancient times, right? The only way in reality you're gonna get somebody back in front of you that was dead was through who? Witchcraft. Okay? So yeah, I wanna read this real quick. This is 1 Samuel, the witch of Endor. 1 Samuel 28, right? And this is what Esau tapping into. You know, he goddamn, oh man, we hold that. Okay. Yeah, kind. All right. So pulling this up, this is 1 Samuel 28, and I'm gonna start at 3. It says what? Verse 3. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel lamented him and buried him, right? even in his own city. And what makes this so powerful? Who kills? The Lord. Who makes alive? The Lord. Right? Then he say, there is any that can deliver out of my hand. So how the hell Biggie back? Now we know he ain't really back, but just the idea, the audacity of the idea. This is the man that want to be God. But anyway, it says, verse 3. Now Samuel was dead, all Israel lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Okay? So these are people that can, what? They can summon spirits. And I'm going to read this in the NLT real quick. It says, meanwhile, Samuel had died and all Israel had mourned for him. He was buried in Ramah, his hometown. And it says what? It says, and Saul had banned from the land of Israel all mediums. See? All mediums and those who consult the spirits of the dead. Okay? So we'll jump back to verse. Let me just jump straight to the point. It says, I'm going to start at 5. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired, so in the times of antiquity, the ancient time, right? And when Saul inquired of the Lord Yahweh, which is the only power to be, right? Neither answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Then said Saul unto his servants, right? Because this is the only way to really get to the power. Now, it's a left hand to the power, Yahweh, okay? But to truly get to Yahweh is to go to the right hand, through the right hand, which is going through the prophets, you know, and you know, really that's it, and so forth. You know, you obviously had the Levites, prophets, you know, then over this down the line, it became different lots of men that was set up for the ministry for Yahweh, right? In order, and you do go through them because you're trying to get some power to yourself, right? You're trying to accomplish something. So Esau clearly not doing that. So we know this nigga completely on the left-hand side, man, because that's the other way you can go about it. You can go through the left hand, which is what Saul is being set up to use as an example to use. Oh, and note that Saul, he represented the 2/3. Remember, you had the house of David and the house of Saul. So you're going to have niggas, right? Or Saul, he going to always do that. And the house of Saul going to always be into that. You know, you can't get something you're looking through the right hand, through the right hand side, you know, or you're trying to live or continue to live, and you can't secure that to yourself through the right hand side. He would do what he originally did, which was go through the left. And the niggas that were of the house of Saul then, whoever Saul was then, is going to do that in these times now, which is simply these 2/3. You know, it says what? It says, then Saul said unto his servant, seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit, right? That could summon the dead. It says that I might go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that had a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits. Right. Because she didn't know she was talking to Saul because he disguised himself. You know, and she wasn't trying to get, because she knows she'd get put to death if she, you know, was known to be doing witchcraft, summoning spirits and all this. But it says how he had cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards, and it's like you're out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And that shows that Saul knew it wasn't right. But Saul, he was so carnal. He was just trying to, enjoy his life however he can, in the ways, even if the right hand side wasn't dealing with him, he would get into the left hand side. He would get into other things to continue to try to live. That's exactly what's happening now. The house of Saul. With this metaverse stuff. But it says, and Saul swore to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? Thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And because you would bug yourself out, man. So the whole concept of bringing people back from the dead is completely aligned with witchcraft, the left-hand side, wickedness, people that got, completely satanic, tapping into that left-hand side, because the demons, when you look the word what is it? It's I'll say it right. When you look up the word I think it might be gods. It might be gods, either gods, angels, or spirits, right? But I think it's gods. When you look the word gods up, it go into angels, and it also says demons, because the demons gods, So it says, and he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up. And he said, basically asking what he looked like, because he had known if she could explain the description, how he looked, he'd be like, yeah, that's Samuel. And he said, and he is covered, because he gonna come back how he's known to be. And you're gonna go, oh yeah, that's him. That's this whole concept of this crap. It says, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, for the Most High departed from me and answered me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. And Khan. Yeah, Khan, that's basically it. So that's the whole point, man. And to wrap that point up, this is Habakkuk 1 and 15 starting back. They take up all of them with the angle. They catch them in their net and gather them in their drag. Therefore they rejoice and are glad. Therefore they sacrifice unto their net and burn incense unto their drag, because by them their portion is fat and their meat plenteousness. So Esau's only able to dare to do ideas like this based off tapping into the left-hand side. Because how do you get to a point where you become so technologically advanced to where you can have people that was actually amongst us looking like they walking around in some other realm, and in front of you in the physical realm that they was once walking around, no matter how crappy it looked. And then you will get to the point to where you can do that, to where your goddamn the audacity you have, that you even think to do that, and will do it. Now you get what I'm saying? Imagine a nigga doing this then. How would it be looked at? This shit not normal. This shit satanic, man. There's nothing cool about this. When the nigga gone, he's supposed to be gone. Unless he come back through the power of like Yahweh Shah resurrecting or something like that, or coming back. That's it, man. You know? But this nigga playing with the idea of bringing somebody back and putting them back in front of you in the world, you know, that shit crazy. But it says, they therefore empty, shall they therefore empty their net and not spare continually to slay the nations? You know? And yeah, they're gonna keep doing this, which is getting people hooked and caught up in these things they put out for their own gain, which is able to do because it's an angle they use on people. Niggas like Biggie bring Biggie back through my witchcraft, through my power. But he's only able to tap into this type of thinking as if he will only be able to tap, they or he, so-called white man, whatever, they will be able to tap in, and the only way they will be able to tap into this type of thinking and able to bring something to pass like this is through the left hand power, through witchcraft, through satanic energy, man. And that is dealing, and they worship this. So they gotta be worshiping Satan to be able to bring forth technology to where it look like it's another world that he created, and then it makes him rich. It's believable by the simple ones, and it makes him rich. Going into what? The image of the beast, which is what? Gonna cause whoever don't worship that image of the beast, get into the metaverse, things like that, to be what? To be killed, man. You know, so we are in the times of this image of the beast. The whole thing the Lord trying to say with that is becoming more clear. Like this image of the beast, you know, the lifestyle of the beast, how he becomes rich and stable, you know, is through worshiping Satan, you know. But that's it. You brother got it.
I haven't found a word that went into demons.
Mm-hmm.
A spirit. There's a spirit. It says
say it again, brother.
The word that had went into a demon like power,
right,
demon, was the word for spirit.
Right.
And it says of higher than man, but lower than God, an angel used of demons or evil spirits who were conceived as inhabiting the bodies of men.
Right.
Yeah.
You said this is for spirits?
Khan. Yeah, the word spirit there. And yeah, just touching on the fact that, you know, Esau, you know, he is worshiping and sacrificing to Satan, you know, to be able to gain the technology, you know, the technological advances to be able to do something, to raise something someone from the dead, which is something that only the Most High can do. You know, Esau, you know, he wants to take on the same traits as the Most High, pursuant to Daniel 7th and the 25th verse, where it says that he needs to change the times, and he saw what he's doing. He's thinking to take us back to the 90s. It's something you can't do, you know, physically in the real world, but he's doing it through his witchcraft.
Yeah, through worshiping Satan completely. Now, when you go into the word, that's true. That's good too. But yeah, I think it was gods, because when you go into the word gods, you obviously get Elohim. But people always just base it. It's all every time we bring it out, it's always based to just be for, you know, like, you know, the angels that, you know, do good for us. But now when you go into it, Elohim, it says what? It says angels. It's like when you go into God, the Hebrew word is Elohim, right? And the meaning right here is what? You have angels. So when you jump down to the Justinus Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, it says what? Jump down. It says of gods or deities. Because remember, she said, "I see gods." That's for the word gods in 1 Samuel 28. She said, so she says she's seeing deities. Or if you go further down, it says what? Angels. And we know it's two sides of the angels. There's the left-hand side, and a right-hand side. And one of these, I forgot where I read it at, but in one of them, it actually says demons. So when she's seen coming up, she's seen demons. Because that clearly couldn't have been that wasn't the right hand side of the angels coming up. Those was demons, Well, really, more so, she was. We really don't even know how she was saying she was seeing them coming up. Because if she was summoned and saw, she probably seen both sides. She probably seen she probably seen the damn demons coming down, pulling men back, bringing men back, or something like that. But I just wanted to point that out, that once again, when you look up that word gods, it goes into, demons. The demons is gods, man. Like when you go to, what's that, Job, and say there was a day when the sons of God came before the Most High, and Satan came also. That's dealing with what? A fucking demon, man. The demons too. Showing you that that's dealing with the demons too. Them the sons of God. So she ultimately was shit. Really, she was worshiping Satan. Because before you think of demons, you think of Satan.
Okay.
But he the chief of the demons. So once again, there was a day when the sons of God came before the Most High, and Satan came also before him. So what was she tapping? She was tapping into Satan, bringing people back, man. So this whole concept, this nigga ain't doing this through the Lord, because we can't do this through the Lord. You don't bring a nigga back. If you bring somebody back through the right, if we bring somebody back, it's somebody that got healed, like how Shah was doing, for them to do good. How you gonna bring a nigga back? For him to go back doing what he was doing, which is the whole reason he got put to death. This fat nigga. Go ahead, brother Slock. That's all I'd say on that.
Yeah, I got Matthew chapter 4 and verse 8. It says, again, the devil taketh him into an high exceeding mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And it's the devil who is Satan. He's able to do so because he's the ruler of this current world right now. It says, and saith unto him, all these things will I give you. With the fact that they're in his hands, he's able to give. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. It says, if thou will fall down and worship me. So we know the so-called white man is in fact he's in fact definitely worshiping Satan, and that's how he's able to pull off all of these technological feats, advances, if you will. And I want to get this.
Ain't no if you will, he is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no if you will, he is. This nigga's pulling off whole other just digital, like that artificial intelligence. That whole he doing this shit. You got it.
Revelation chapter 13 and 14.
If you will means what? If you will means when it's not really accepted. That's when we use the word if you will. Brothers be saying that shit. Not necessarily you, but it be brothers that be just mimicking brothers and shit, man. If you will is implying what basically is not able to really be said. Now, if you saying through, he's doing this, but not really because the Most High allowing him to do it. If you saying that, okay, cool. But outside of that, nah, that nigga doing this shit, man. You know, and not to go against what you're saying, just for edification out there. You know, you got it.
Thoughts water, but and to go back into the whole point, you know, that this is all going into that beast, you know, in the image of the beast, you know, pretty much being exalted here. That's what we seeing. Revelation 13 and 14, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, being able to create a world that don't truly exist in reality, which is these technological advances that we've seen that are truly, in fact, happening. You know, he's pulling off these things which we basically have to perceive as miracles, especially with the point the elder brother kept pointing out, the fact that if you imagine this happening in the times of the ancients, it's like they not only just bring it back a person, they bring it back his environment. The style, the if you would, like I can't even really explain it, but the vibes of the time period, like the brother Dwarf said, he said they trying to bring back the 90s. So
That nigga Esau, man. This nigga Esau, man. This nigga, man.
They trying to get us stuck back in a time that's like just past, man. Like our whole approach is we trying to advance, we trying to move forward. Esau literally trying to just keep us stuck in a time where we was completely dead, man.
Nah, he giving niggas what they want. Cause remember, he said he taking them up with an angle.
Yeah, kind of.
You know? Really, if he could, he'd just outright get you. But he know he gotta.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I got a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then you got it. This is Isaiah 30:10. It says, "Will say to the seers." I'm actually started 8. Right. Now go write it before them in a table and note it in the book that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. Right. Exactly. So what's in this book is going to stay, and that's includes how the Israelites, being the so-called blacks, Latinos, and native Indians today, you know, as known by or as called, will act, you know, and what they will respond to and what will work on them. Right. That this is a what they're known for, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, will say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak to us unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So, and that's that angle that Esau, because he diligent, he a diligent search. He understands through reading our blueprint how we work, what that I gotta that's the angle. He come with everybody with an angle. He's like, the angle I gotta take with Jake. They gotta give him smooth shit. They like the 90s. So he ain't trying to bring niggas to the 90s. Clearly, look, he trying to make everybody robots. You know? He giving niggas that want to still be in the 90s, like, look.
Yeah, this you.
Yeah, this why you should fuck with me, because like that damn song, what's that? Fuck with me, you know I got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cut. That's funny.
Yeah. That's Esau. You got it.
Yeah, Kyle will read this again. Revelation 13 and 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. And so like, completely that. Like, Esau just serving on a platter like what Jay wants. And they basically ultimately they want to be blinded. You know, they searching for deceits because, you know, Jake truly just don't want to deal with reality. So they do search out. That's what you see how people do. They search out ways to block themselves from having to deal with reality. Therefore, they will be asking for to be prophesied smooth things instead of the reality that they see in front of them. I'm gonna read verse 15. Pass it though. You got it.
That's dealing with Esau, satanic, and his satanic things that can help them, like you said, block out what they trying to block out. So when Esau drop the PSX, he can drop a PlayStation X. Jake gonna buy an iPhone XYZ. Jake gonna buy anything they, That's why House Shot said, "Ye are of your father, the devil."
Exactly.
You got it.
Yeah, I got a video that's crazy. It's it was Jake. He was at the subway station with his woman. He had a PlayStation box in his hand. Like he had just bought it when it had just dropped. And she had took it and threw it on the train tracks. This man literally, like he basically jumped on the train tracks before the train come to save the PlayStation. Like it was it was actually his baby or something. So it just show you how far these people will go out the way for that, for what it is that they're searching for. A very interesting video. Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's ultimately what we mounting up to. That's what we in defense for, because the world, they go get what they trust in, which is the image of the beast, these deceptions, these deceits, and it's going to further draw a separation between those who are in tune with reality, which is this truth, pushing forth this doctrine. And it's going to come to a point where they going to be looking to kill us, man. And it's really that simple. But I got one more scripture. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 11, it says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us," because that's ultimately what all of this is about. Satan getting advantage of us through his many ventures, man. However he wanted, he go serve it to you. Just like that song, get a slice of the double spot. It come in slices, He go serve you whatever flavor you want, whatever mixture, whatever you want, he go serve it to you, and he go have it available.
Salaki, that's why he said, "Do without will." Burger King, they got that slogan, "Have it your way."
Have it your way. Okay. No, kind. That's beautiful. And that's, if you just pay attention to any slogan, that's how they do it. Like we talked about it slightly last night, like everything instant gratification. Again, that song, the F for me, I got it. That's what he's serving. So that Satan should get an advantage of us. It says, "For we are not ignorant of his devices," but ultimately there's many of the world that are.
Yeah, because it's showing you that our people are heavily into witchcraft, even if they don't know it. But a lot of them are into it. Like, they ain't got to be told, like, without them being told that that's witchcraft or not being told, they're going to be into it. Completely. Like, that's, you really think about all this stuff that he got, these creations and things Esau is doing, like, ain't nothing wrong with creation and, resurrection in the right sense. But everything he's doing is really satanic, bro. You're not supposed to be playing on no concept of bringing somebody back, a nigga back that the Lord killed, bro. And we just be playing, man. You can unlock Nipsey Hussle in the new Def Jam Vendetta. That shit crazy. That's a satanic ass world. Niggas will bug out in the ancient world. That's it. That's all I say.
I have one of those.
You got it, brother.
If I can, I had wanted to read the Brook. It's on their website, so it was like a platform that they the ones that created this whole thing off the Brook.io. It says the Brook transports you to an immersive virtual world defined by culture and driven by hip hop heritage, spanning generations, social climates, fashion, style, entertainment, and now the future of technology. So, just like the brother was saying, you just playing and not unlock Nipsey, you doing things without really even realizing what's going on. It's just Esau Edom's way of steering your mind to try to be more carnal and try to get you to perceive that that's you. like you said, your culture. Like, that's your culture. That's your heritage. When in actuality, you're the people of this book. You know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got a quick one to back you up. This is Isaiah 30, 32 and verse 3. And the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. Exactly. You know, we see it exactly for what it is, man. You know, he got all of us thinking that type of stuff cool. That stuff, that's not cool. You know, this nigga, man, and he been doing this for centuries. Like this nigga been doing this. He been doing this. Written the slide, I ain't say centuries. He been doing this for decades, man. The idea of just these little things, you know, stuff that ain't supposed to be, he making be. You know, the whole image of the beast. Like if you want to, I'm thinking of the show Cat Dog. If you want a cat and a dog put together, you can have it. You know, and if you want to think that's funny, here I'll make them tell you jokes to where you think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? All these little cartoon character creatures. It really, when you think about it, it'd be abominable things that ain't supposed to be. Like it'd be stuff that completely goes against nature that he done found the way to desensitize in people's eyes because it might be a cartoon, you know, or something like that. This whole world satanic, man. Everything about it. You said that was on on Facebook, brother? About Facebook?
No, this was on their website. Like the platform's website. It's called The Brook.
The book?
The Brook. BROOK.
Drop it in the chat.
Come.
Yeah. Yeah, kind man. Those guys.
Yeah, kind. And it's on the point that was made that, you know, you ain't supposed to be bringing back no nigga that the Lord killed, you know, purposely. Like when I wish I had brought back Lazarus from the dead. I'm just go I'm trying to find it without paraphrase for now, so I get closer to it. But basically the Lord he had made known that, you know, he was doing it for the purpose of the Lord's glory. It wasn't just because it was just because the heck of it, you know, like how Esau is pretty much just you know, straight up satanic job. You go make people believe that it's okay just to bring ones back from the dead. You got it.
Yeah, this is Joel 12 and verse. I'm gonna jump straight to the point. This is verse 14. It says, "Behold, he break it down, and it cannot be built again. He shut it up a man, and he shut it up a man, and there can be no opening." So this nigga Esau, he completely, you know what I'm saying? Which we know, obviously, that means the actuality, but he's trying to defy that in the power that the Lord has gave him, which is being used in these different technological advancements. Which he's actually, if you pay attention, he's showing how much in these technological advancements, like these video games, metaverse, whatever, right? Technology, period. He's showing how much against the Most High he is. Like when you look on the back, you know, of an iPhone, it's an eating fruit, you know, something that was forbidden. If you say apple, but an apple or fruit, why that? And then most people swear the thing they ate, right, was an apple. You know, so that's just to back you up, like you said, the idea of bringing somebody back from the dead, you know, is off. Like the Lord said, you're not supposed to be able to come back from that. But this nigga, he found the way, man. You know, is he actually doing it? No, but digitally he is.
Yeah, kind of.
Yep.
And that makes sense too, because like we said, it seems low level. The graphics, they crappy. They ain't really nothing crazy, but just think of the mentality of the people who are in the world. You know, they're looking, going out their way to find something to distract them. So if this it, you know, they go eat of it.
I had a scripture.
You got it.
It's Ecclesiastes 9:5. It says, "For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more a reward. So it's for the memory of them is forgotten." That's just according to the scriptures. When you die, you go back to the heavenly Father, and then the Israelites, you're waiting in the heavens. But here it is that Esau, they bring back, the notorious B.I.G. They have them smoking weed right here on Earth again.
A key word you just said is notorious. When you're notorious, you're known for bad.
Right.
That's what notorious means. Go ahead, brother. Slide.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much it.
Okay, kind. Somebody else. I got something real quick. This is also in the book of Ecclesiastes. This is what I thought you were doing. Ecclesiastes 8. That's fire. This is Ecclesiastes 8 and 8. There is no man that has power over the spirit to retain the spirit. So this is just deception. It's just complete witchcraft and how much he want to try to defy the Lord. Like, no, I did it. It says, to retain the spirit. Neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war. Meaning you can't fight back. Like when it's time to go, you out. Like when you discharge from a hospital, you gotta go that day. You know what I'm saying? You out. Time to go home. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It says, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. Exactly. So it's all vanity. You can't live forever in the metaverse, man. I said we we're going to want to be going into, obviously. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means. Yeah, it says any means. We've been speaking on just a few.
Meaning, don't let no man think that he can actually prove he can actually disapprove it. You know what I'm saying? You got it, brother.
Yeah, kind. That's beautiful. Because ultimately, this is what stands. The words of the Lord. That's what is going to rule forever. The Lord says, ultimately, His will is what's going to stand. That's what's going to play out. His words don't go out unfilled. Paraphrasing.
And like they said, the words of the Lord stand forever. Like you're not supposed to find that cool as well. Like if the Lord say ain't no man coming back, and you talking about on a video game or some virtual world that they brought Biggie back, you supposed to be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be like, whoa. You got it.
No, kind of. Like that's perfect. That's supposed to be a red flag. Like you can show you, man, people out of their mind to believe like this is okay, but that's the whole purpose. That's how the devil works. Because it initially comes to you on the first level, which is then they trying to bring back the dead, but the latter of it is, like you said, they got their little devices on however you enter into this game, and they really in this accepting this. And they probably gonna be looking for the next person. And I was thinking earlier too with how they brought back the holograms. They had the hologram of Pac. He on stage at a concert performing. He going, they just trying to resurrect in any kind of way. That's a major offense, obviously, because we just read it. The Lord said that firmly. We just got a few scriptures on it. So all of this is completely opposed to the Lord. So 2 Thessalonians 2:3, let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. I mean, we already fell away, but it just ultimately further proving the falling away, further proving that it's completely 1/3 and a 2/3 of the Israelite nation. It says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And you know, the man of sin to us, like we see it clear, but these people who are in this web, in this trap, you know, they're gonna see it completely fall apart on them because it's not solid foundation. So yeah,
I got a
I ain't
scripture.
gonna lie, this shit look real as hell.
Yes, Salaki.
You got it, door.
Con. Yeah, it's Proverbs 12:19. It says, the lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. And, you know, at the end of all this, we're going to find out, we're going to realize that Esau has been lying to us the whole time. Right? It says, deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. It says, there shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with iniquity. And Esau, he's trying to keep you under the curses. He's trying to keep you so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native American Indians under his foot, by keeping you in just in a dream, right? Rocking you to sleep. And he's trying to keep you committing the things that keep you from attaining the kingdom, and that have you is the reason why you're dying out here.
Yep. I got a quick one. That was it, brother?
Yep.
This is Revelation 13 and verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. What was a miracle? Yahushua resurrecting from the dead, and all the people that healing people and everything this nigga doing is through the left hand side, man. From him, his medicine, everything is witchcraft, man. I mean, he found the way to get this nigga Tupac back on stage and worship again.
Man.
You know, this shit crazy. It says, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. You should be okay with this. You tripping if you ain't with, the metaverse or all this other crap. Because this came out, in 2014. But when this shit first came out, this guy looked. That's how you know Esau is completely failing at what he's trying to do. Because how some shit looked realer in 2014 and then in 2022 with the metaverse, which is I want to speak on this specifically too, as far as going into the metaverse shit, more so concisely. But how does like the shit look? How does this look? You felon, bro. How are you felon? You should have based the metaverse on this.
Yeah.
This nigga is literally moving. This is not Tupac on the stage, man.
I never seen this. This look crazy.
Yeah, I remember this shit came out, man.
I remember seeing clips of it, like the little pictures or whatever, like news articles. But
yeah, no, this nigga was like, I remember, man, this shit look real. It was 2014. Now that Biggie shit look like. That's why I wasn't even quick to speak on it. I'm like, bro, if somebody get fooled about this shit, like you gotta be just a straight retard,
Yeah.
Lord hate you. But anyway, finishing this off, it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast. It's like you make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword that did live. and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. He could bring this way he want to live to life. The Lord gave him that power, but he didn't get it through. Ultimately, through he went through Satan. Let Satan stand at his right man, at his right hand, set a wicked man over him, and let his days be few, let another take his office. Why? Because he will be, while he's in power, this the shit he'll be doing. This is why Esau just got to get off the earth. Because if he was left on the earth as a race, he'll find a way to manipulate other people because he's Jake's twin brother. So, on some level, it's like he like if you want, he like the next Beckstein to Jake if you like on some opposite day shit, But anyway, I wouldn't even say that. Anyway, it says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right. And we read the next verse is going to the Mark Beasley, which is dealing with what? Technology. So this is all about Esau's technological advancements to, catch people up and get people ultimately that he would make over years to ultimately catch people up, get people to buy into him and think this stuff is cool, to desensitize them for when he wants to put a chip in their ass, man. And they do it. Because, God ain't punished us for this. Bro, this is off as hell. The Lord smoked pot. He judged them one time and then he killed them ultimately. And he got this nigga back on stage who was a Hebrew Israelite leading all the Lord's people to the slaughter, man. You brother seen that video with Kevin Samuels, them niggas and Kevin Samuels niggas?
Yeah, that shit crazy.
That shit.
Million Man March, that shit.
Huh?
It was like the Million Man March.
Man, bro, they was in the image. It's like they was in the image of Kevin Samuels. That's why the Lord is smoking these niggas. That's it.
Yeah, I got it. Ephesians 6:12, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Yeah, so our battle is not carnal, and it's obviously what I'm trying to say is manifold here is because these holograms, man, holograms in the metaverse, like these aren't even like real things. Like these things truly, they're not even really tangible. They're things that are created to completely deceive. Like they're literally made to deceive. Like a hologram is it's a projection. You can't go up there and really touch this thing. In the metaverse, you can't really go into that thing and actually touch people. And then I seen like the metaverse, like just from what I've seen, because I ain't gonna say I actually like deeply looked into it, but the characters look like Nintendo Wii things. Like, it's not advanced at all. It's like really low level. So that's what I've seen so far. I'm sure it gets deeper. I'm not gonna limit it to that, but I know what's in front of us isn't even solid. It's not even something that's truly solid to even touch. So our people are getting got by something that's not really even like tangible, not touchable. But it makes sense because the devil is the major player behind all of this.
Yeah, these comments crazy.
I got something like that.
With absolute speech of seeing the king of rap once again.
And that's a month ago.
Right. And this exactly. See? Can't make it up. It's your spirit. You got it.
Come. This is Psalms 5:4. It says, "For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee." It says, "The foolish shall not stand in thy sight." It says, "Thou hatest all workers of iniquity." And, Tupac, he was nothing but working on iniquity. That transgressed the law, committed sin.
So you cutting up real. For me specifically, I can't hear you that well.
Really? I sound low? Am I like buffering?
No, you better now. But
Yeah,
it's a little.
It's like I was just talking. Look, there's Psalms 5:4. It says, "For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee." It says, "The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity." And the Most High, he's not gonna. Like it. Tupac, he's nothing but a worker of iniquity. And the Most High is not having that. And here it is. Esau, he don't get to bring it back on earth. It says the foolish shall not stand. Oh, Salakia. It says, "Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man." And Tupac, when he was on earth, he was just speaking on nothing but lies, adultery, things that kept our people under these curses, right? And again, here it is. We saw using witchcraft to put him up on stage and have our people worship him and sing along with him. It's blasphemy. But that was it.
Yeah, it said the crowd was shook. Yeah, because this shit ain't supposed to be going on. And this is a spiritual thing that's up here. Rain, fire, man. Exactly. Because the Lord, Tupac was nothing but a creation of Esau when he was alive, a byproduct of the so-called white man when he was alive. Yep. And this hologram is proof of that. He made the nigga, like how Jake be telling their kids, brought you into this world, I'm going to take you out. You know what I'm saying? And then it's already was said that Esau was used to basically kill Pac, all type of rumors. But ultimately, the Lord gonna rain fire on Esau upon the wicked where he rain fire and brimstone, man. While you got niggas like Jay-Z talking about he don't believe in fire and brimstone. Yeah, because you are your father the devil, nigga.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You goddamn demon. Go ahead, brother.
St. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil. Yeah, so that's exactly what this is. And that's exactly who Pac was. He was of his father the devil. He was literally, because people reverence this man so much, but really
he was a creation. You are of your father the devil. He was a creation of the so-called goddamn white man, man.
Man.
You got it, brother.
Kind. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father will ye do."
Exactly.
That's what he was on stage doing. That's what he was promoting. That's when he talked and he performed. When he put on his character, he went by his actual name, but it's still a character. And the so-called white man completely exploited that and exploited billions of people, including Jake, namely Jake, by doing so. It says he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. That's what the whole thug life, this whole image has promoted all types of murder, death amongst our nation, and physically and spiritually. And because he's not abode in the truth. And because he didn't have the truth, we see the outcome of Pac. He's not alive. He only can exist in a hologram state. And this is not truly who he ever was anyway. He was never Tupac, which is just showing you he's a product of his father, the devil. And he never came to the truth, and therefore he was judged and taken out the earth. So-called white men, they're doing all they can to keep him going. In spiritual class, remember the little girl shirt?
Yeah, I got some too.
Yeah, you got it. The little girl shirt. When we watched a clip of what happened in San Bernardino, the little girl had a Tupac shirt on. She don't know nothing about Pac. She wasn't alive during Pac days, likely, But you got to.
But through the devil's technological advancements over the years, you got some shit called replay. You got some shit called YouTube videos. You can pull up history and put it before you like you was there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she knows Pac now.
Exactly.
Nigga, taking faces and putting it. You could everything, all this nigga technology, which technology really of the Lord to be able to do things like this. Right. He just using it in the wrong way. Like it tell you in Sirach, all things are good to the godly, but for sinners they are turned to evil.
Yep.
So you could make designs and different technology, but this nigga just using the science of how that stuff worked in the wrong way. So, for example, I was gonna mention like that shirt for instance. You wouldn't have been able to do that in the ancient world. Put a nigga that was once here that's no longer here face on your shirt, you know, completely, and it's like he here with us, you know. That shit witchcraft. As soon as nigga die, they go get the nigga face through a you know, some technology, some technology, you know, a printing machine, printed on a white T-shirt and airbrush, and it's like the nigga right back on Earth, and they have a picture when he was completely in his father, talking about we gonna miss you, or you live forever, or it'll say nowadays niggas call you know, niggas memories and all this other stuff, such and such world, JoJo world, you know, what's that rapper that died? Damn, he could rap good, I ain't gonna lie. What's that nigga, he died off pills or something? He had dreads, he's like fat.
Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD, kind. You know? Juice WRLD, his name was Juice WRLD. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, the bagger what the brother said, this is Sirach 14 and 3. Riches are not comely for a nigger, and what shall an envious man do with money? It says, he that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others, that shall spend his goods riotously. Yeah, the Lord bagged the brother up, like he was saying this wasn't who he was, you know, and that's why the Lord killed him, because he was doing the bidding of the so-called white man, basically, man. You know, pushing riches and the image of the beast to our people, like Prodigy said Jay-Z doing to our people, you know. And this Esau, he created niggas like this. Esau created niggas like this just to make him rich. He be like, if you want to be rich, nigga, you got to be like this. Because one, you going to curse yourself, which is going to make me richer. And then two, it's a certain image, like, it's certain niggas, like, you got to think, every type of nigga tried to go get a record deal. A nigga that, like, Jake was trying to be conscious, but they wasn't accepting that. Then they let niggas like Tupac and, you know, fast forward, Bobby Shmurda, you know, come in their record label and they're like, nah, you ain't bugged out enough. Then niggas like 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
you know, and their whole concept or gimmick is what? Chasing what the so-called white man got, blowing all your money on it and killing niggas. God damn it. And killing niggas. I burned the hole in my garbage. and killing niggas, you know. But see, that's the spirit, because the Lord say, you know, the prophets wore rough garments. But any goddamn way. What the hell was I just saying? Satan ass.
Going into how these these so-called rappers is promoting the lifestyle of the beast.
Yeah, which is that's again chasing the devil's creations, spending all your money on it, killing niggas who got it if you ain't got it because you want it, and if you do spend money on it to get it, you give it. Basically, you give the money right back to him. You don't like even if you think about it, like in every way that's true, because Jake get heated, Jake get roasted, you know. Jake get joked on for buying fake shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the niggas that would duplicate the shit that Jake want will be their own people. You know? Because if you just liked how it looked, you're gonna do that, which Jake could do here and there. But niggas like Tupac get on record and be like, real VVS's, real St. Laurent. You know, basically I went to the so-called white man to get this. It ain't official if you spend your money with the so-called white man to get it, and it's 10,000 times more. So once again, this is Sirach 14 and 3. Riches are not comely for a nigga. Esau created niggas, you know, because he like, even if I let you get rich, you ain't gonna keep it.
Do it.
Even if I let you get rich, it's gonna be through you being a nigga. You know, it says. So you ain't gonna keep it, and you just gonna make me rich. And what shall an envious man do with money? Jake envious because it ain't their world, you know. So they took Esau clothes. Look at these niggas' clothes. This is Esau clothing, and they flipped it and how they want it into how they want it because they really just envy the so-called white man. They're like, yeah, he got clothes, but I'm gonna make it my own. I'm gonna, style it like this. Everything they do show they envy Esau, But our world coming. But it says what? And he that gathereth by defraud of his own soul gathereth for others that shall spend his goods righteously. And Esau created these niggas that they allow to get rich, which follow the protocol to get rich, which is by being a nigga. He created these niggas just to make them rich, period. You got it, brother.
Yeah, and just to point out one of those things is the boots, the Timberland boots. There's been many controversies about those trees and those boots, but to simply say not going all deep into it, it's just the fact that that's the so-called white man's boot, and who's promoting it, and who wears the most of them. So where's that money going back to? When Jay get rich, they buy a house. Where do they buy their house? In the so-called white man's neighborhood. So what happened when they can't afford that no more? They just gave their money back to the so-called white man. They still don't have anything. But it's so on and so forth. The cars, so on. It's a perpetual thing. And the other brother, he just quoted this, which is in the book of Sirach 39, in verse 25. Where I'm gonna start, it says, For the good are good things created from the beginning. So evil things for sinners. And verse 27 is the point. It says all these things are good to the godly. So to the sinners they are turned into evil. So again, Pac, these rappers, all these jakes, they was born ultimately to be gods. They was born to be godly. But when they're turned over to sinners, the ways of the so-called white man, they're turned into exactly that. This image that we talking about, this image that we see our people portraying. Pac, Biggie, the Juice WRLD we just named, what was the other dude, Rainbow dude, Kashi, so on and so forth. We can go on all day, but these are all men who were created to be gods, to be godly. But Psalms 82 and 5, but we go die like these princes, man. We go die like the so-called white man, because we out of our estate and we in this estate.
If I can, I had the etymology for the word thug. It says from Sanskrit, going back to thaga, it says cunning or fraudulent. Just touching on the fact that Tupac was the offspring of Esau Edom, right? The product of Esau Edom, being that cunning hunter, talked about in Genesis the 25th chapter. That's all it is. It's a very carnal man, right? That if you follow his ways, he will lead you to death.
Right. Exactly it. Esau was a man of the field. So what is Jake doing? Meaning the man of the world. Anything else?
Yeah, kind. I just quoted it, Psalms 82, in verse 5. It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. And that makes sense for us to be able to see it, because everything is out of course. The water, our try for us being able to see and be able to hear and understand this, because we understand the Pac out of course, Biggie out of course. All these people we've been naming are out of course. To be a thug is not in course on who you are truly to be, and that's complete darkness, and that's us walking on in it. I have said, ye are gods, all of you are children of the Most High, talking of the nation of Israel. But this is what's the outcome of the 2/3. It says, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle. Anything else?
I had a scripture. It's Ecclesiastes 10:6. It says, folly is set over great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. We're just, touching on everything being out of course, not the way it's supposed to be. Righteousness isn't on earth. Right now, like the earth isn't the rulership under righteousness, under righteous leaders. It's under the rulership of you. So it's crazy right now. It's wicked. And then, when you Jakes partaking in the witchcraft, you gotta wake up, right? And you gotta come out of this, out of this state of mind and out of this woman talked about in the book of Revelation, right? So that you do not partakers of her sin.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close out, wrap this up. I'm gonna get this. I got one more. This is Micah 7, and I'm gonna start at verse 18. Who is a God like unto thee that pardoned iniquity and passed by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? Yeah, Esau ain't like that. Esau whole shit. Adrian Peterson can go back to the league. They'll still be talking about how he whooped his, you know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy because he broke his law, But it says, who is a God like unto thee that pardons iniquity, right? This is the wickedness that our people been into, and you was into it at a point in time. Unknowingly, it says it passes by, at this level, it says, for some, it says, and passes by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage. So the Lord is going to pardon us that was at one point beguiled by this. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that type of stuff is cool, and it ain't, And it says, but 2/3 he not, And you brothers that's in the truth, you full of shit, sisters. Lord, he see you too, he gonna kill your ass, man. It says, and passes by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage. It says, he retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighted in mercy. Yeah, if the shoe fit, put another shoe on, But it says, as the brothers say, it says, he will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities, and thou will cast all their sins into the depths of the sea. So we new people now. Thou will perform the truth to Jacob and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old. So yeah, we gonna get those sure mercies, man. We ain't gonna be held accountable for none of this stuff that we partook in, in time past because we repented. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this and we wrap up. This is Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms, it says, of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms. Yeah, because we was set up in front of a man who had the power to beguile you, while not knowing who you were, man. So it makes sense. It's fair that the Lord doing like this. And then he got the place of repentance for the rest of his people set up to where they could be told what's going on and they can hear and they can choose to hear or forbear. And some of them forbear like, I'm gonna keep whatever. It ain't that deep, Well, nigga, you gonna die. It says, and families through her witchcraft. So this nigga has completely got everybody just gone off, his witchcraft. But it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord. All this technology is dealt. Yahweh Bashmi shall host, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness. Yeah, how bad Esau really out here. All we gotta do is open the book, and it shows that this nigga completely naked. Opening the book is like flashing the light on that nigga, man. Everything that's going on in this kingdom, he naked, man. Lord ain't with this dude. He completely without the Lord. That's how he's naked. It says, in the kingdoms thy shame, and everybody's seeing it. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Exactly. So that's how America gonna look when it's all said and done. And it's looking already to those that see. As he said, the watchmen would initially kick off. They're gonna lift up their voice and see eye to eye. Period, on what's going on and bring out the glad tidings, that good news. So it's an end for this, and we're gonna be put back in power. What I'm saying, to deal with the science of technology and different sorts. So the last scripture, this is Sirach 10:4. It says, like at 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by DC. Exactly, the image of the beast, the technology. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So the power of the earth is about to be put in the hand of us, man. And all the technology and everything. So with that, Lord willing, you've been edified. Brothers, got anything else?
I mean, I had a couple articles I was doing regarding the metaverse and everything and stuff that they
Yes, God. You ain't got no other scriptures? Okay, Con. So Lord willing, you've been edifying. We may come back. The brother may come, bring it out, or it may come out to another brother. I'm saying we will go ahead and shut this down. Giving all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father's name and Son. Yahweh, Shalom.